Panthers had an opportunity to take the lead in the NFC South, but they dropped week 15 to the Steelers. And can the Lions get over 500 after starting the season 1-6, Tank? Do you feel like this is a spot where the Lions could take advantage of the Panthers? Because the Panthers have a really, really solid defense right now.
Man, LJ, hey, I'm all aboard. I done jumped on your squad on Motown. Let's go
Let's
ahead now.
go.
Like, I see -2.5. You giving me the lines based on the way that the Carolina Panthers looked last week, where they couldn't run the ball effectively. They couldn't execute on third downs. I mean, they couldn't really throw the ball better than a high school team last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I mean, obviously they've gotten better. They've gotten healthy. They have TJ Watt back now, but it's still not
Yeah.
that dominant Steelers defense that we're accustomed to seeing. And then we have the Detroit Lions that have won 6 out of their last 7 games. Like, everything's clicking for this team. They have so many weapons on offense at their disposal. Where they want to go to Amon-Ra St. Brown, or they have my cousin Jamal Williams just barreling in for touchdown after touchdown, or you get DeAndre Swift out there in the pass game out of the backfield and making chunk yards for him. So I really like what the Detroit Lions have going for them, and then more so than anything else, momentum is a hell of a drug, and they got a lot of it going right now. So give me Detroit -2.5. The Lions about to go in there and cover.
Let's go. They're eating all of that Dan Campbell energy, and I absolutely love it. And a lot of their success, too, Jared, has been because they've turned into a well-balanced team. Before, they had a good offense, but a really shitty defense. And now their defense is only allowing 19.8 points per game over the last 7 weeks, which is pretty incredible after the first 7 weeks, allowing 32.1 points per game. Now, for the Panthers, I look at their record. The Seahawks are the only team that they've beaten this year that has a 500 record or better. I feel like the Lions are the flat-out better team at this point of the season, but what are your thoughts on it? Would you lay the 2.5 points?
Yeah, I think the number obviously matters, right? Like, when we're hovering around that key number, and based on what I'm looking at with the market this week, anytime it's gotten to 3, and it's gotten to 3 a couple times at a couple of different shops, immediate buyback on Carolina. So the point being, if it does get back to 3, it likely won't be there long. So if you want to set an alert for Carolina +3, that's probably the best number you're going to get. At 2.5, it's really dangling on you there for the Lions. The game itself, so I'll be honest, I have nothing bad to say about Detroit. I can try, but it's really hard. Over this little 6-1 stretch, the Lions offense, 4th in points per game, 1st in passing efficiency, 1st in drive success rate. The one thing I will say is the Lions offensive line got pushed around a little bit by the Jets last week. And other than Frank Ragnow, no one graded out above average. And Carolina's defensive line can get into you too. So we'll see how Detroit's front handles that on back-to-back weeks, going on the road and facing a physical defensive line. That would be the one concern for me with Detroit, laying on the road where they're typically better off in an underdog role. The Panthers, again, they have 6 players on their defensive line with over 20 pressures. They don't have a ton of elite pass rushers, though. They're really good at getting into you, and Derek Brown's probably the best at it, stopping the run. But, straight pass rush, edge rush guys, that's not what they do best. So we'll see how, how Steve Wilks schemes it out.
Yeah, he wishes. Maybe.
Yes, for real. I was really disappointed with Carolina last week. We were on them, at home against Pittsburgh. Similar spot, -2.5, really looked appetizing. And Pittsburgh just went in there and whooped them. And, Tank nailed it on third downs. The Steelers' offense was 12 for 16 on third downs in that game. I mean, you want to say third downs are volatile and we get some regression there. Carolina gets off the field in this game, but that just can't happen in the NFL. You can't let a team convert on 75% of your third downs. Your defense is going to be gassed and you're not going to win that game. So that's the adjustment I think Carolina's defense needs to make. We'll see if Steve Wilks can rally the troops in this game. This is again, after Tampa Bay, falling flat and the NFC South is wide open still. So we'll see if Carolina can kind of bow their necks a little bit. I'm not going to bet this game. I see an angle for both sides, especially if you get the Panthers at 3. That would be the spot I'd be intrigued with Carolina as a home dog. But again, it's really tough to fade anything with this Detroit team right now. They're one of the hottest teams in the NFL, and they figured out a way to win a game where their offense only scored 1 touchdown last week on the road in tough conditions against the really good defense, which is exactly what's going to take place in this one as well.